Big news, obviously, moving everything over to ESPN Plus now. I'm just curious. I mean, a brand new deal is in place. What prompted this? I mean, you guys were just 3 months into this partnership, right, and you're already inking a new deal. So what prompted this to happen?
Well, that's how good it's been. The deal has been so good between both of us, ESPN and the UFC. And, you know, these guys got a chance to kick the tires, look under the hood, see what's going on here, and they like what they saw. And obviously we delivered for them, and we extended the deal. Now we're completely aligned. Linear television on ESPN or ESPN2, ESPN Plus, and now pay-per-view. We're completely aligned. It's a beautiful thing. It's going to be great for the fans, the fighters, us, and ESPN.
We know the 5-year deal, the numbers that were thrown out the first time around. Are the numbers being made public? What are years 6 and 7 going to bring in terms of revenue for the UFC?
Yeah, it's a 7-year deal now, and the deal doesn't suck. It's a damn good deal. And but at the end of the day, what it's more about is, how do you take this thing to the next level? How do you get to the next level? And if you look at the landscape out there right now, with the way cord cutting, real, numbers dropping like rocks. So when you're in a position like we're in, you have to look and say, what is our best option? Where do we go from here? Well, we're completely aligned with ESPN and what they feel the future holds, and you know where it's going. And we agree with everything that they're doing. So to be with these guys for the next 7 years, life is all about timing. Business is all about timing. It was the perfect place and the perfect time right now for us to be with ESPN.
Is it concerning at all? Because you're right. Everything you're saying about cord cutting is right. I've done it recently, man. I get it. But I think the thought process always used to be, make sure your pay-per-view is available in as many places as possible so it's accessible to as many consumers as possible. Is it, you know, kind of a risk here?
No, it still is. Listen, if you have Netflix, you can get ESPN Plus. I mean, it's that. You know how many people have Netflix and Hulu and all these other devices? If you have them, you can get ESPN Plus. It's that easy, and that's where it's going. And you know, the timing is perfect. If I had any other television deal right now, I'd be looking, going, oh my God, what's going to happen in the next 5 years? Because if you look at how many subs are dropping year after year, off different platforms, from DirecTV to cable to, you know, whatever's out there, they're dropping like rocks, and we're ready for it.
Do you know, is there like a section of the population that you just won't be able to reach now? I mean, I feel like everybody's got a pretty strong internet connection these days.
Everybody's streaming. I mean, if you look at anybody in the way they're watching sports, my daughter plays volleyball, right? So when I go there, all the dads that are there during NFL season are watching the games on their iPads, or, you know, whatever's on that needs to be on. These guys are all streaming. Everybody's streaming. I mean, these guys are 50 years old and they're streaming. The streaming is the future.
Yeah. How does this affect pay-per-view revenue? I mean, is this because that was a discussion point, right? It was trying to improve pay-per-view revenue. Is this a revenue split?
There was never a discussion about improving pay-per-view revenue.
Well, no, I mean, it's always a business goal, right?
Everybody out there, first of all, there's always negativity and people talking about our business. Nobody knows anything about our business. They know nothing about our business. So you see this talk, 2017 was the worst year for the UFC. You know, Megan O'Leary hit me with a bunch of headlines after we sold the company. You know, why 2017 is the worst year? Not true. Pay-per-view, you know, pay-per-views are falling. Not true. You know, the list goes on and on of all this negativity about our business. None of it's true. You know, the business is obviously doing very well, or we wouldn't be in the position that we're in right now. And, you know, that's why I told you guys a million times, I block all this noise out. I don't listen to any of this stuff. You know what I mean? I'm going to listen to some guy who writes for a living, who's never built anything, has never, nobody's ever depended on him for a paycheck for anything, and all these other things to tell me about my business. This was the right move at the right time. And ESPN has been an incredible partner in just a short amount of time. I love the way that they run their company. Everything works together. .com works with TV, TV works with social media works with .com, and then all the other businesses that they own work together. We're going to blow this thing up. It's going to be massive. It is the future. You know, when you look at these younger kids, my kids are 16 and 17 years old. They don't even know what CBS, NBC, or any of these networks are. That's not their world. That's not where they live. These guys live online. They stream everything that they do. They don't even know they know programs. They know what they want to watch and where they can find it. It's not about networks anymore. But ESPN has done a really good job of getting in with the young groups. My kids have the ESPN app. My kids stream on ESPN. They follow ESPN on social media. They're killing it. These guys are way ahead of the curve. They're literally beating everybody out there as far as networks are concerned with streaming.
Are you able to say, though, how this works as far as, like, when somebody buys a pay-per-view, does 50% go to ESPN and 50% goes to the UFC, or how does that work now? So
these guys are going to, the other thing that's great for the fans is they're going to start bundling stuff too. Very hard to do that in the old days because, you had so many different players. Now we just have ESPN, and we're both aligned with our goals and what we want to do. So it's going to be so much better for the fans. Obviously, in the beginning, change is weird. Everybody hates change. But once we get dialed in, it's going to be amazing.
It did say may explore other potential packaging. I mean, the press release said that. So is this like some type of service where you pay a flat rate and you get everything? Fans have asked for that for a long time.
I can't speak to it right now. They'll get more into that. You can ask ESPN. But yeah, their goal is to bundle this stuff and make it more affordable for the fans. Telling you, listen, I've been doing this for almost 20 years now. Every time I've made a new deal, it's been good for the fans. I'm telling you guys right here, right now, this is the best deal that we've had. It's a one-stop shop for everything UFC. And the way that it works too is any new content. Think about this. We were restricted in the old days by whatever else was on the network, whatever other content they had that they had obligations to. With streaming, they can put up anything. We can put up so much content. I'm creating new television shows for these guys. They get the first look at ESPN Plus. If they don't like it, then it goes on Fight Pass. So there's never been a better time to be a UFC fan.
I was going to ask you mentioned Fight Pass. How does it impact Fight Pass? Does this minimize the importance of Fight Pass? Does Fight Pass remain a priority?
Again, if you listen to everybody out there chirping because of ESPN Plus, what about Fight Pass? Fight Pass subscriptions have gone up because I think that the ESPN deal has created more awareness and the whole tide rises. ESPN Plus is doing really well and Fight Pass is doing really well, And every time I come out and tell people, like I said, I don't know, maybe 6-8 months ago, a year ago, I said how well we were doing, all the critics come out and start ripping us. When will you stop doubting me? It's fucking 20 years now, right? When are you going to stop doubting me?
Well, it's obvious you're excited. Give me an idea. What doors does this open? What do you think that this really the overall benefit, besides, just, I guess, being aligned with one partner? What do you think the overall benefit of this is?
The benefits are you're on ESPN, the most powerful and best sports, programming on the planet. The ability to build stars, the ability for more people to see the fights. If you flip around tonight, flip around on ESPN, I guarantee you we're on. They're airing a fight tonight on ESPN every night. So the awareness goes up for the fighters. The awareness goes up for the fights. The amount of promotion these guys do. When you were in London covering the fight, they had a 4-minute piece on Till on SportsCenter that morning. And the list goes on and on. These guys are going to help us build the sport and take it to another level, which is going to affect everybody. The brand, ESPN, the fans, the fighters. It's amazing for everybody.